We're back, everyone. This is the round table segment as it heats up in this dungeon where you would think it would be nice and cool. No, folks, it's 138 degrees. And on the turf, it's another 20 degrees.
There you go.
So we're at 158, and then you add Rocco and his weight problems. More moisture for us.
Yep.
That's a problem. All right, but we do welcome the insider. We're all here with our nice jeans on today as it's getting colder, and 2 of 3 people have the correct shirt. Now, look at the inside.
One of us is different, and it's not just because of his color.
Wow. Wow. You went and played the race card.
I got to start off with a bang.
I don't know if I can work in this environment.
He
This
drives
is just,
a race car.
This is just, the level of bullying is ridiculous.
The bullying, yeah.
I'm offended,
too much bullying.
and I'm fearful right now.
You should be if you went to a white school.
Where's Joe
Now.
Philbin?
Anyway, folks, listen. The insider is here. Rocco, we asked for some inside information. I know you have some of your own that we didn't even ask for, but give us the inside scoop.
So the first thing I want to talk about was I'll say surprising in the fact that I think the score and the fact that Laney's got shut out, but the Panthers versus Laney's game, where the Panthers beat Laney's, I believe, 12-0.
19, I believe.
19-0. So I talked to the quarterback, Shu, from the Panthers, and he said it really came down to line play. The defensive line for the Panthers was just able to get to Schellenberger, getting multiple sacks, as well as causing him to throw 3 interceptions. And also the X factor on the Panthers, as you alluded to, C.J. Tarver, he had a big game, which we'll talk about in our Player of the Week segment. So that was how the Panthers kind of beat them. They bullied them on the lines and allowed C.J. to have a big day.
Interesting.
In the
Before you get off
absolutely.
of there, I'm not only surprised that they won, I'm more surprised they won by a shutout. I don't think you could have found someone who didn't play on that team that could have said they would beat Laney's this past weekend. If Laney's comes with what they come with normally, and then the Panthers team, they were just, like the word you said was line play domination, I would have never guessed that.
Well, defensively they did, and let's be clear, this is not the same Laney's teams that we're used to seeing.
Agreed, but
in my opinion.
Still enough talent that
Yeah.
I was looking at them to be the number 2 seed coming into the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Go ahead, insider.
In the B division, I want to talk about 2 games. I want to talk about, you asked about the Titans Rampage and why it was such a blowout. And it seems to me that the Rampage O-line kind of fell apart, which gave the quarterback no time. He threw 3 interceptions as well, I believe. And on offense, as always, Brad Hughes and Teddy, they very, very methodical. They moved the ball down the field. You know, they were just able to keep the Rampage off the field and completely, as Colin would say, dump truck.
Wow. So they matriculated the ball down the field.
Ooh, I like
Look
it.
at you, Hank Stram.
Siena
Well, that's
education,
just-
folks.
yeah,
He's
well.
not just a pretty face.
That's not Siena education. That's from NFL Films, Hank Stram. Keep on matriculating the ball down the field. Come on.
That's before my time.
No, you've seen the tape. You are 27, talking like you're...
28 on Saturday.
Well, happy birthday on
wow.
Saturday. 28 looking 50. You're a
Oh, my God.
You're a
It's not
white
that-
Greg Oden.
Wow.
Shorter and fatter, though, but you're Greg
It's not
Oden.
because of the Abe Lincoln beard, is it?
It could be, yeah.
All right.
Is it Abe Lincoln or Al Qaeda? You've said both, and I'm just
on the
confused.
TV it looks
I have
both.
a split personality now.
There
I
is
don't know
no
who to
way
be.
in the world you at 27 should look 55.
No, maybe 45.
Just because your people don't age.
Oh!
We just stay pretty. What can I
my
tell you?
God.
Don't hate. Don't hate.
No, it's a
I know.
compliment. It's a
We
compliment.
just stay pretty.
Colin's actually 67. Look how good he looks.
Take it all in, folks.
Look at him. He
Take
looks
it all in.
great.
What's side profile?
That's why he gets the PRs.
And the WGs.
Oh, all right.
That's right.
So moving on to the next B game I wanted to talk about.
All right.
The again, we've talked about Cannon Barrel Pub beginning of the season, probably the second best team on paper in the B
Right.
division. And the Aztecs have been good on paper, but they haven't been putting it together on the field. They finally put it together this week with a 12-0 win over Cannon Barrel Pub. And I talked to Damon Fish, the coach of the Aztecs, and he said that they designed a specific blitz package during the week to keep Wayne in the Wheezy in the pocket, and they were able to do so. They also kept the offense to 3rd and long and had 3 interceptions. this week.
See what happens when you get some old guard playing against some young guys who run forever in a day? If you put in the right system schematically, they're not going to be able to do anything. If his biggest asset was his wheels, they keep him in the pocket. He ain't but yay big anyway, so now he's got to throw over people. That sounds like it was just a great defensive scheme.
Yeah, the one thing I'm seeing, just to interject something here and pause, is I'm seeing more so than colonized days where A, B, and C teams now are putting more strategy into the games. Even the teams that aren't great, they put a lot more strategy into these games. I'm even seeing teams with their playbooks and their wristbands and the defensive formation. So it's good to see that everybody is getting into this kind of NFL, kind of CDFFL mixture now with this kind of thing. And it's fun to watch because teams are playing a little chess match with each other.
And I think part of it might be this is very much a Madden generation. So guys are used to playing video games, controlling things. They get a little bit more hands-on. Then when they go out to the flag field, they want to kind of bring it with them and act like those guys they watch on TV or play with in the video game.
They're not hands-on on the flag field, are they? Or is that just for you?
Depends.
Okay.
All right. You need to trim your beard, though. It's getting a little rough. All right. What else do you
Good thing
have?
I'm far enough away that you can't really
you can't see it from
the
there.
white
Looks like
trashness of my current appearance. That's what happens when you don't work, folks.
Or you go to a Skodak and went to Maple Hill. Now, go ahead with any inside of it.
Sure. The last game I wanted to bring up was the upset, the Dream Team Thrashers game.
Yes.
Last year, both teams were kind of battling out for that second seed behind the SOS, and we figured they would do so again this year. However, Dream Team kind of fell off the map, a few losses in a row. They needed this. This was our game of the week. We all picked the Thrashers, so congrats to Dream Team. And a similar theme to the other games I've been talking about, the Dream Team said they really did it with defense. They forced 3 interceptions by Chris Howard, and what they did was they spied Chris so he couldn't get outside of the pocket and forced him to throw, and then on offense they kept the ball on the ground to keep the Thrashers off the field. So it goes back to what you were talking about with strategy. They knew their quarterback opponent's strength. They knew that the Thrashers are a better offensive than defensive team, and they were able to pull off the upset and keep their season hopes and playoff hopes alive.
Well, there's one thing that Colin and I always agree on, I believe. When people say they want to go to the ground game to keep people off the field, the clock is running. So whether you do a short passing game or a running game, the thing is the amount of plays you run really is keeping them off, not running or passing when it comes to CDFFL. So it kind of amuses me, and he and I, when we refereed, always hear that. Stay in bounds with 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go.
Right, good call.
Stay in bounds, okay. Or you can get more yardage.
Because either way,
the clock is still
So that
moving.
surprises me, but yeah, that's good scoop on that game. Now, I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you have anything as far as that Falcons loss?
I do not. Sorry.
You don't? Okay.
Thank
you for being on the show. No, that's a curious game, though, and we may have to find out what happened. Maybe write it in the newsletter on that one, okay?
Speaking of which, I saw you got some kudos on the website for a well-written article, even though you put the wrong teams together. With the Carnage, not the Carnage.
Oh, that
the,
one. No,
Scrapers.
I didn't get, well, I don't know who was saying well written on that one because the teams were incorrect. But I got some kudos via private email from Gary Morin regarding the Rams and the Amsterdam story. How that crew was together.
And he's a teacher, so if he gives you kudos, I'm pretty sure it was grammatically correct.
Maybe. I don't know. But those
might
are
have gotten
written
a
very
sticker.
quickly. Yeah. He gave me 3 stars, and we put it up on the website.
3 stars and a candy bar.
Real quick, speaking about write-up, I forget exactly what newspaper it's in, but it's a newspaper, I believe, based in Hudson or Columbia County. The Scrapers had an article written about them and about how Tyler Patilla, I'm not 100% sure how to say your last name, so I apologize, put together this team to kind of keep kids in better activities, young adults, and looking forward to something that was good. And it was a great write-up, and they plugged the CDFFL, and he messaged me, and he's hoping that they can pull a few more teams from that area. So thank you to the Scrapers, and, you guys are doing well, and that's cool that you guys had that article, and I'll post the link on the forum.
And give credit to his father, too, because it was Tyler and his father.
Correct, his father's the coach. So
His father's the coach. Okay, because I got a chance to officiate them this week, folks, and there was one adult, maybe it's Tyler's father, and another adult. They're both very, very respectful to the officials, to the opposing team, to their own team, because these are young kids. They have talent, but they make a lot of mistakes still, as you would think from a first-year team. So I was very impressed. I don't think they're going to go very far in the playoffs. I hate to say that after what they've done, but it is their rookie season, and I think they'll be better and better. I just saw too many flaws this past Sunday against a team that was good for them to play against. Your boy Al there from the
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes, you know, they're one of those teams that is going to put up a big fight physically, but they're not going to win in the end usually because they make a lot of mental mistakes. And Al knows that as well. But it was a good game to see. I'm happy to see the team is progressing very nicely in their first year. They should win their first playoff game, and then things are going to be up in the air, and I wish them well. But they also were having problems in the cold weather, and we're not even to the coldest part of the season yet. That
They have a
was
lot of
factor.
tropical people. That's right.
Well, chocolate too. But one of the things the coaches were yelling from the sideline, just so everybody knows, the quarterback was throwing some nice dimes. The receivers wearing gloves, apparently, for the first time. All of them were dropping several passes.
That's never a good thing, especially when it gets to, oh, look, it's November already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, folks, you know, sometimes we get lucky, but this is not looking like one of those lucky years.
No.
Usually you pay when you get lucky.
That's later
when
on
the
tonight.
semifinals and Super Bowls come, I have a feeling it's going to be very cold out there, and Colin and I will have about 12 heaters as long as the fuse doesn't blow.
Again, yeah.
All right.
People might make fun of people like myself, Jazz, Wags, Fuller. We
fat
won't
guys?
be cold at all.
No?
The
Okay.
fat guys or the
All
hairy
right.
guys?
The smart guys.
Or fat
you
and
know.
hairy?
The layered guys, all right, like whales.
Naturally
Like
insulation.
whales. Oh.
How about some player of the week action?
Sure, from the A division, this was the player that contributed to beating my Samson's Fighting Irish team.
Fighting with themselves?
Yes. Kevin, we were in a good on the field. Kevin Fahrenkopf with 3 receiving touchdowns from Palmer Auto. And one of them, I got to say, there was perfect coverage by the D-back. He used his long arms to grab it and tiptoed and fell out of bounds. It was a phenomenal catch. So congrats to Kevin.
So sorry to cut you off. He's playing out of position in co-ed because he's playing quarterback in co-ed.
Right.
And he said himself, there's no way I'm a quarterback.
So
but I
this
just
week
need
they
to
made a
play.
switch, and he did not play quarterback.
He did
I
not.
don't know the name of the guy who played quarterback, but I believe it was his first time playing quarterback, and he didn't look that bad. It enabled Kevin to kind of maneuver around the field and get those mismatches.
See, if they were able to make that change on a permanent basis, they may make some noise come playoff time. They're in the B's, so they may pull off an upset or two
True.
before they get dumped trucked
But
by
getting
the
back to the
Bullets.
men's, I like the fact when you put Partek and Fahrenkopf out there at receivers because they're so tall, they're a lot faster than you think. When Partek gets going, man, he can fly.
He only looks 62, but he's got
Yeah,
great
no,
speed.
but he can still run. I don't know if it's his lifestyle or what, but you know that's going to be something that they can build on. And Zach Palmer loves to throw the deep ball, so I think they can get a lot more touchdowns come playoff time. Any other player of the weeks?
Yes, so from the 49ers Tigers game, the Tigers coach Tom Chichester actually nominated Ben Cook, the quarterback, who had 3 touchdowns, multiple long runs on offense, and also was kind of that key cog on defense to stop Shane Bishop from getting out of the pocket. So thank you, Tom, for giving him credit.
Match speed with speed.
Match speed with speed.
Speed with speed. And just to interject one other thing here.
Pause.
Shane Bishop getting a lot of reports. He is not the quarterback people thought he would be in the A division. That may change when he gets offensive line help and if the Tigers can regroup. But right now, I would think even he would admit it's been a disappointing season.
I agree.
Any other A division?
Yes,
player?
from the Panthers, we kind of alluded to it
Yes.
earlier. C.J. Tarver, 2 receiving touchdowns, 1 interception on defense. But Shoemaker was quick to point out one of their defensive backs, Stephen Granage, I believe, he manned up on Carr the whole game, and they said he locked down Carr. It's his first game back. He broke his eye socket week 1 against the Blaze, had surgery, and it's his first week back, and he might be a difference maker in that secondary. He enabled CJ to kind of roam the field and do what he does. So congrats to him on his first game back, getting healthy and making a huge impact in the statement win.
There's where you come with the strategy, because CJ is a gambler on defense, and if you can give him that freedom, he'll come up with a pick or two or more.
And just for that reason alone, because you're not going to find many people who can lock down Carr one-on-one, I would have given it to him. CJ may have gotten the stats, but he got his stats because he was able to do what he did.
Agreed.
And taking away the biggest weapon.
And that's why I kind of wanted to mention them in tandem. I didn't want him to get lost. I mean, C.J. Tarver, we know he's an all-star, but it's the pieces around him that will help keep the Panthers in that title race.
And, you know, it's interesting that his eye socket injury is the same as a porn star that I know that had, you know, the blasting of it in the eye socket and the whole thing. So she's back, though, and you can find her with one of the companies. I forget which one. Okay, so with that said, we like to go to our A-Division Game of the Week. As always, you'll just give us a little inside info and then let Colin choose first, please.
Sure. So Laney's 5-3 versus the Renegades 5-3. They're fighting for that second place, that second seed behind the Blaze, along with the Panthers, who are 5-3, the Samsons 49ers, who are 4-3, and Got Beer, I believe, is also 5-3. So it's a big mix. But I believe the way that the tiebreakers work, Renegades or Laney's are in a good position to secure that second seed. So this is a big game, and it's the Renegades' chance to kind of make a statement. Before the season started, Greg Deirdrick was adamant that he wanted his team to have a chance to play for that 4,000. He thought he could play with anyone, so now's his chance to kind of prove it and show if the Renegades are really as good as he thinks they are.
Okay, and just to go back to the standing, yes, Got Beer is also 5-3, and Palmer is 4-3. The Renegades, as you mentioned, 5-3. So that's a huge game, and I guess off the air we'll talk about when that's going to take place. Now, the Palmer Auto game has a makeup also with the Sampsons team, so will that also be taking place this week, a doubleheader?
Yes, there'll be a doubleheader. Palmer Auto will play the Blaze and the Sampsons 49ers. The Sampsons 49ers will play Palmer Auto and the Laney's Panthers. And here's a little insider information. Laney's is going away this week to a tournament, but they're taking Josh Shoemaker from the Panthers to quarterback them. So the Panthers will be without their quarterback, and who will be starting? Their old C-Division quarterback, Bobby Myers.
Wow.
He'll get his first A-Division quarterback start because the Laney's is taking Shoemaker with them.
That is
Laney's will be
great
playing
info.
or not playing?
Laney's, as of right now, is not playing this week, so we're going to hope that this game happens. Hope we can figure out a way to make this Laney's Renegades.
And is
All
CJ
right, so let
Tarver
me ask
going with the
this.
tournament team?
I don't know. No, he's not, because the Maulers are going to Racine, Wisconsin, to play the number 9 team in the country this week. I think the team they're playing is 9 and they're 10 or 10 and 11. But so a lot of guys from different teams in the A Division and B Division will be gone this week due to that trip out west.
So let me ask a silly question.
Yes.
If, as of right now, they're not going to play, why is this the game of the week?
Because we want to really try to figure out a way to
But
make
they're
it
not
happen.
going to be here.
It may happen. We'll see what happens.
We're going to see maybe if we
All
can do
right,
something.
try not to be
Check
such a
your tone.
buzzkill.
Check your tone.
Well, you're being a buzzkill and we're on the air.
We ain't live.
I also forgot about it when I picked it as game of the week. All right?
There's the truth.
That's the truth,
Don't
guys.
be the chocolate wax. All right,
I'm
you
too
pick,
pretty, too thin,
You
and
go
about
ahead
200 pounds too light.
pick first, Colin.
I'll pick the team that's not showing up. If this game goes off, they're going to be undermanned. So I'm going to go with the Renegades. Even though they're going to be down C.J. Tarver, Laney's are going to be down a lot more. So
point.
I'm going to go with the Renegades to get the win.
So I'm going to go with the Renegades, even if this game doesn't happen this weekend. It has to happen maybe, I don't know when else it could happen. But I'm going to take the Renegades, even if both teams were at full strength. I think that Laney's is kind of in that mode, well, we'll beat you in the playoffs. You know, I've heard that a lot in different posts from them, and they have a ton of talent. But I just think the Renegades are hungry, and they want that win. And the Renegades, to be completely honest, played their worst game of the season this week.
And to your point earlier, this isn't the same Laney's team that we're accustomed to. So for them to think we'll play better in the playoffs, we'll just meet you in the playoffs, they can't flip that switch.
No.
And these other teams may not realize this isn't the same Laney's team. So they're coming with their A game to take this team apart and win.
Yeah.
If they think all they're going to do is show up in the playoffs and it's going to be, all right, we're ready to go, they got another thing coming.
I mean, any team that starts a bum like Pete Louisi in the A division, I mean, come on.
Wow.
You're welcome, Pete.
Calling out names.
Terrible. Pete's a good kid. Just a little too much on there. Whoop. All right. So anyway, everything
Hot
being
meat kettle.
equal, everything being equal, and both teams at full strength, because this is a tough game to pick. And I don't know why the insider did it either, Colin.
I forgot.
But I would have to go with Laney's everything being equal, just because they're the more experienced team, and I think guys like Carr and Quinn and Schellenberger and those guys will just try to use strategy to win the game. But make no mistake, folks, this A-Division playoffs, I think, will be the most exciting in a long, long time, with weather conditions uncertain, with teams not knowing that they're supposed to lose to certain teams. You don't know what's going to happen, and we'll see what happens in a couple weeks when they start. All right, B-Division Player of the Week.
So from that game, the Aztecs beat Cannon Barrel Pub. We said that they forced Cannon Barrel Pub quarterback Weezy to throw 3 interceptions. 2 of those were made by James Maben Jr., who's often overshadowed by his brother. He also had...
That's a damn shame you can't read.
He also had a batted ball to seal the game on, I believe, the final play of the game. So,
interesting.
Congrats to James. I believe it's his first or second year in the B division. He played in the C's for a while, so he's stepping up his game.
All right, congratulations.
From the Bootlegger Predators, he was nominated last week, but I did not put him up. Kirk Scarlett. He had a receiving touchdown and 2 interceptions on defense. Wow. And the Predators making that late season push for the playoffs.
Interesting. Yeah, the Predators are a hot team, and they are not the game of the week, but the game of the week in the B division is certainly a great one. It's the Titans at 7-1, the Rugged Rams at 6-2, arguably the 2 hottest teams in the B.
And the good thing is this game's definitely going to happen, so I don't have to catch any flack. So the Titans 7-1, we've said it all season long. Brad Hughes, they run a methodical offense. But what's very interesting is the Rams got their quarterback back after a rough season last year without him, Gary Morin, and they're 2 very different quarterbacks. Gary is very mobile. He's able to kind of use his legs, use the option, do different things to make things happen. Whereas Brad Hughes is more of a pocket passer, a timing route guys. Both teams have a lot of talent on defense. Both teams also have their core has been playing together for years. So this should be a great game. And like Frank said, they're both hot right now. They're both chasing forever bandana for that 1 seed, looking to make some noise.
I think this is going to be one of those games that live up to the hype. 7-1, 6-2. It's going to come down to the last possession. I think in the end, though, the Titans have more to play for. They're playing for potentially the division. If for some reason they get this win and Forever Bandana loses, they win the division. They get that number 1 seed. They don't want, like we talked about in the C division, they don't want to let a game slip away that could cost them seeding-wise. So you want to be as close to the top, if not at the top, as you possibly can. They could lose this game and fall from 4 to 6 maybe, or 2 to 6. Depending on what the rest of the schedule, the standings is. I don't have the standings.
I'm sorry. Well, continue talking because we are on the air.
Yeah, so I think that they're going to be able to, they'll realize, yeah, okay, so they won't go to 6. They go to 3. So they're still going to be in there. Oh. So I'm going to go with the Titans to get this win, and they're going to be playing in hopes that they get the division with a Forever Bandana loss. Close game, down to the final minute, last possession kind of thing.
All right, Rocco.
So I don't like to do this, but I'm gonna pick the Rams. I think the Rams are hotter right now. I think they are playing above my expectations. They're probably playing right at their own expectations. But I think if you polled the league, given what they did last season, no one would have picked them to be at this point. And they're 6-2, but like we said, they're dump trucking teams right now. However, I will make a bold prediction. If they meet again in the playoffs, the Titans will win that game because I think the strength of their Titans goes back to what we talked about, their strategy, their game planning, and they will figure out a way to stop Gary Morin and the Rugged Rams by the time that happens.
All right, well, I don't think you're really going out on a limb here. You may make one of your friends Teddy mad, but, you know.
Sorry, Teddy.
I'm going to tell you, and it's so hard to nitpick this offense from 41 Sports Bar, but I'm going to tell you why I'm going with the Rams. The Titans have such a good game plan on offense, but they're too rigid. They don't seem to have those plays that are broken plays that allow teams to have that big touchdown when they really need it in a tight game. They seem too methodical, like it's the game plan or nothing. And yeah, they'll make some adjustments maybe, but I don't think that they are that dynamic on offense compared to the Rams with Gary at quarterback, as you alluded to, your favorite word, that his scrambling ability allows him to make plays that are broken. So that's the reason that I'm going with the Rams.
Too tight, too rigid. Got it.
Pause. All right, so we have C Division Player of the Weeks.
So from the big from the big Carnage NWO game.
That's what I like. Big Carnage. Got him.
Steve Ellis, the running back, linebacker, kind of do-it-all speedster, he had one full field touchdown and multiple flags on defense that ended our drives. So congratulations to Steve Ellis, who also won fastest man at last year's.
Who says
What
a
do you mean
full
a
field
full
touchdown?
I was trying to give a
Oh,
my
look who
God.
showed up.
Wow, what happened to him?
His hair-
Sorry, folks, we
his hair
got
is
a
very ethnic today.
AJ
That's
Roden
not even
sighting.
ethnic.
AJ
That's
Roden
not
from the
ethnic.
1970s showed up.
Speaking of porn stars,
Ooh, that's bad.
All right, so continue,
yes,
please.
I'm distracted right now.
from Dream Team and their upset win over the Thrashers, Charlie Jordan, their running back, who had estimated 150 yards rushing and one touchdown. That goes back to we said they wanted to use their ground attack
Was one of those
against
a
the
full field
Thrashers.
touchdown?
I do not know. I was just trying to allude to the
Was
fact.
80 of the yards a full field?
And shockingly, the other player of the week, Ed Sargent
No.
of Fuller's. His first game at quarterback this season, 6 passing touchdowns and 4 sacks on defense. The opposing quarterback must have been wearing a cheeseburger because that's one hell of a game by Ed Sargent.
Easy,
What was
Ed
the score
doing
in that
it.
game? Oh, that's the Avengers, 38-16 over the Avengers.
What's the Avengers record? Are they a good team or are they a bottom feeder?
They're a middle of the pack team, but they only had one loss last season, so they're a talented team.
What do they got this season?
2-6.
Yeah, okay. One loss last
Good
season.
try. Yeah, nice try, full field.
Good job.
All right.
6 touchdowns, 4 sacks gets mentioned.
Good
by
job
the way.
out of Ed.
Listen, that
Ed
is
did a
great.
fantastic job.
You know what, though? That is a good game. I mean, any opponent, especially both sides of the ball.
I mean, Ed Sargent and Zach Palmer are the only 2 quarterbacks who can play O-line and quarterback.
It's
and almost
amazing.
as heavy as you.
Ed is completely underrated. I will say that. The problem
Not
is
if you ask him.
That's the problem. He plays himself up too much. If he would let that go, I think people would give him more credit.
I agree.
And you need street cred, I'm told, in this, at the CDFFL, especially on Morton and Eagle if you play down there.
I give him credit because I rent out his wife, so.
Oh,
You're fog him. Fog him no more.
I didn't say what I rented
Have
her
you
for.
flipped over?
It could have been to
Oh.
cook me dinner.
Oh, see, I was going to give you props for that. I thought you came back to the right side.
well, the
Never
CDFFL
mind.
did get props, though, from some of the soul food places down on Morton and Eagle because they're getting a lot more business now.
You're welcome, Cups.
Yeah, you get teams like, Scrapers coming in, they're going to eat there, and other teams of that nature.
Except they're not open on Sundays.
Oh, all right. Well, the Spanish place across the street with the good chicken is.
There you go.
All right, and it's baked, so you can keep your heart going, all right? Black people in their mid-50s are dropping like flies.
That's a lie.
Okay. That's a lie, he says.
No,
the
meant-
stats don't matter?
I meant about the baked. That's
Oh, the-
fried. Yeah. It's fried.
Oh, okay. 2 minutes?
Still banging
we
plenty
gotta
of white
get going
women,
here.
Games to do.
Two
All right.
games. Let's do them quick, though. We got Carnage and the Scrapers.
I don't know how to
This is
do 'em
probably the
quick.
big game here. 8-0. Carnage, Scrapers 7-1. This is the time for the Scrapers to really step up.
Because we're running out of time, I'll
Go
just
ahead.
do this and say it quickly and to the point. Scrapers, good luck, but you're not going to win this game.
Carnage is going to pull this one off behind Steve Ellis and his full field touchdowns.
All right, Carnage by 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry, Scrapers, but this one may help you for the playoffs. Next game, Thrashers 5-3, Dirty Birds 4-4.
Thrashers laid a big old stinking egg last week and losing that game. I think they come back 2 weeks, 2 losses in a row. The SOS team lingered last week. Thrashers bounce back and win this game.
It's all about how Rome brings his boys to the field. If they're mentally ready, the Thrashers are more talented to win this game. If they're not, the Dirty Birds are going to salvage their season and go 5-4, but I'm picking the Thrashers.
Yeah, so Dirty Birds are not a bad team. 4-4 means that you are in for a fight. Thrashers, though, with Rome, like you said, I think he has the boys ready to play. He told me he was going to go 8-1, so I won that bet, Rome. But Thrashers win this one; they'll go to 6-3.
A commissioner betting with players in the league.
Well, the bet was
what
just
in the name of Roger Goodell is going on here?
It was for a 6-pack of baked chicken.
No, it wasn't. A 6-pack of insulin, maybe.
All right. Anyway, the jokes are flying, folks, but we got to go, so we'll do more of this off air. We'll tape record it, and hopefully we can get a shot of AJ in his 1970s jumpsuit. 4, Colin Martin.
Don't do it, AJ. It's the hair. The suit is not even a problem. It's the hair.
Rocco Tobin Laguerre.
Oh, my God.
Holy cow.
It says juicy on his ass as well.
Wow. It says pink on his ass.
I'm uncomfortable.
Again, Colin Martin, Rocco Tobin Laguerre. I'm Frank Rogers. We'll see everybody next week for Week 9. In the books, in the can, as they say. Which